This is Russ. Hey, I'm back out on the road again. What am I riding today? Here, let me show you. Yeah, red bike. I only have one red bike. That's the U-Free Stellar Falcon mid-step version. Yeah, I haven't ridden this bike in a while, huh? Yeah, I figure I better get it out on the Stellar Falcon here. So anyway, yeah, it's been a while. I've been taking Mrs. Wright's bike. I've been taking the step-through version out. I haven't taken this one out in a while, so I figured, yeah, we better do it. Let's pedal a little bit here. I've got it set up for a torque sensor right now. Yeah, let's move up our mode here. I'm on sport mode currently. I was just a second ago I was on tour mode. They have eco mode, tour mode, sport mode, and then they have turbo mode. We'll go to sport mode. All right, okay, we'll go. I was looking to the left. There was a car there. It was trying to decide whether he should go or whether I should go. Since he hesitated, I think he wanted me to go, so I went. And this is the problem. You just never know what they're thinking, and they don't know what you're thinking. But a lot of the drivers around here tend to default and let the bicyclists go, which I guess is good, but it does slow down the whole traffic thing. So you never know. So where am I headed right now? I don't know. Do I ever know? I don't ever know. We're heading towards the Bussy Woods area. I don't think I'm going to do that now with this bike. If I were to do that with this bike, I would need the second battery, to do totally around Bussy Woods. But we're just heading in the direction. The thing is when you're out on the street, you just go out and ride, and wherever you end up is where you end up. That's how I look at it. So yeah, Stellar Falcon. Yeah, this is an interesting bike because it's again one of those that allows you to change from torque sensor mode to cadence sensor mode. Right now it's on torque sensor mode. I haven't been pedaling as much as I should. I really should be pedaling more. I said that this year would have to be the year I have to do more of that pedaling because, since losing the weight, I'm not huffing and puffing as much as I used to. Yeah, I still do, but not as much as I used to. And so torque sensor mode was kind of tough for me back then. Let me see here. Let's move it up one pedal assist level to sport mode. And it was a little tougher back then. Now it's still tough, but at least I'm not as much out of breath as I had been in the past. I did watch I did look at the comments that people had left on my Botanic Garden ride. Remember that ride? Yeah, that was a long video, huh? Hopefully you guys stuck around and watched me suffer through the rain. But I looked at some of the comments, and I had asked the question about, if I use cruise control, is that not the same as pedaling at the same rate? Many people said, no, the pedaling would still help you because you're giving additional forward momentum from the pedaling. It would give you more range. Yeah, I had a feeling that might be the case. But I would say this: if you're going to throttle, if you're going to be a throttler, then the cruise control, of course, will make it a lot easier because it's consistent. It stays in that same speed all the time, right? All right, the lady waved me on, so we will take it. So in that sense, it would help your range in that sense because you're consistent. But the pedaling would, of course, help. Yeah, it's true. You guys are correct. All right. Oh, here's another thing too. I asked the question on another video: when did the term It's cruel. It's cool. When did that term come about? And I told you guys, don't look it up, don't Google it. In your own mind, when do you think the term "it's cool" came out? Many people felt it was the 50s. I thought it was the 50s as well. Turns out, after you Google it, it's the 1930s. 1930s. I would have never have guessed it. It also showed some other things that people said, you know, like it's neat and other things like that. But no, the terms "it's cool" came out in the 1930s. Yeah, little trivia. Uh-oh. Where are we at? Northwest Highway again. I keep forgetting about this thing here. Let me see what this is. Let me see. I'm gonna let this guy go past me here. Try to decide what I'm gonna do here. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll take Northwest Highway. We'll take a right, head out of this thing, head back out. This is a problem that I get around talking and not even paying attention at all where I'm at. Always end up at Northwest Highway. I'm not a big fan of Northwest Highway with the bike. Not that this bike can't do it. This bike will do 28 miles per hour, but yeah, I don't feel like doing it today. So anyway, yeah, 1930s. How do you like that? And of course, some of you guys, you know, also put down some of the other expressions people have said over the years, you know. Yep. Wait for the dogs to go by. Go ahead. We'll see how long I can balance on this thing. Ah, I did make it. Yeah, it's an electric bike. Nice dogs. Have a good day. So anyway, lady asked me if it was an electric bike. I said, yes, it is. So anyway, what we were talking about, phrases, yeah. It's boss, it's cool, it's neat. Out of sight. Out of sight, okay. That's gotta be 70s, right? 60s maybe even? Yeah, who knows? It could be 60s even. Yeah, 60s. It's groovy. Groovy. Hey, did you guys say these type of things? I never said is groovy. That's too Brady Bunch for me. Same thing, out of sight. I never said that either. Yeah, those were the days. Okay, since we're talking about trivia, I'll give you another bit of trivia. I remember when I was younger and the Monkees was on TV. Remember the Monkees? Everyone knows the Monkees. I remember watching the Monkees and they had these big belts with big buckles. Remember those things? I had those back in those days. But I also noticed that the Monkees had worn the belt buckle to the side. They didn't have it directly in front of them, right in front of their bellies. It was to the side. And I always wondered, why is that? Is that just because that's a cool thing to do? Why is that? Uh-oh, we're heading in the wrong direction again here. I'm gonna have to take another right. Let's go this way. So why do you think they had the belt buckles to the side? Yeah, I always thought it was because they were cool. It was not. At least I don't believe they did it with that, because I always wore my belt buckle to the side too when I played guitar. Why is that? Because you don't want buckle rash. If you're a guitar player, you know what buckle rash is, right? Yeah, if you have your buckle right in the center and you're playing guitar and the guitar is right in the center, you're scratching up the back of the guitar. Yeah, some guitars are really beat up looking because of that. If you wear the buckle to the side, you don't get the buckle rash. And so that's how I figured it out, and I says, I'm wearing mine to the side. So even to this day, I wear my buckle to the side when I'm playing guitar. There you go. In fact, I bought a belt on Temu.com. Remember Temu.com? Yeah, let's get out of this. I don't know what they're doing here. Let's move this way. And it's a nylon belt, okay, like a web belt that you can adjust how much. Let's go here. How much of the web you want to make the belt longer or whatever. And I bought this web belt. It's got a plastic buckle that you can adjust, but it's black buckle. Okay. I bought 2 of those things. They were cheap. I think they were like $3 or something like that. And each, that is. That's pretty cheap for a belt. But here's why I did it. It's because, as you know, I play at church, and they do record our church services. And I'm looking at the video, and I'm going, oh, I can see my buckle, you know, off to the side. I said, if I had a black buckle, you would notice it as much. So I said, oh, look, here's a plastic buckle on this web belt, nylon web belt. I said, let me try that. Yeah, it works out real good. That's what I wear all the time now. Yeah, I was always a leather belt kind of guy with a buckle, right? But yeah, this time around, I said, no way. Let's try this. I'm wearing it right now. Actually, if I didn't have the belt on, what is this? A Wilkie Road. How did we end up here? All right, well, let's just take it. If I didn't have the belt on, my shorts would fall down. Yeah, I'm wearing blue jean shorts. I told you this before. Yeah, you know, I always wear these Wrangler blue jean shorts. Bought some new ones recently. But these old ones that I was wearing here, I couldn't fit it. I had gained so much weight, you know, in the last couple years. You know, I bought these shorts a long time ago when I had lost 50-something pounds. And then I gained some weight back. I couldn't fit them anymore. I literally couldn't even fit them. Yeah, it wouldn't close. Now it's so loose that the pants would literally fall off if I didn't have a belt on. Sorry, got an itch. Whenever there's an itch, I have to go across the camera. So yeah, it's a good thing, you know, to know that you've lost the weight enough that even your the pants you couldn't even fit now don't fit again because it's too big. Yeah, that's good. Now, as far as more information about the weight loss, I haven't lost much weight since. Yeah, after the 35-pound loss, it's always been maintaining between 35 and 37 pounds. It just jumps back and forth between those two numbers. Today I weighed in at 36 pounds. So, yeah, I don't seem to be able to drop any further. I think the only way I can drop further is I'd have to do some major drastic change to the diet again and then maintain that low amount of eating. I don't eat a whole lot now. I will admit I actually do not eat a whole lot in comparison to how I used to eat. And like I said before, my biggest downfall is going to Costco and getting a Costco pizza and a hot dog. Yeah, I get them both. That's the problem. Maybe if I drop down to even just one item instead of the two, that would help. But no, it's my weakness. I even told the Costco guy, yeah, this will be the thing that'll kill me. I go there way too much. I literally go there almost every single day. I mean, it's crazy. You're talking 3 to 4 times a week out of a 7-day week. I'm usually there getting a hot dog and a pizza. That's not smart. Others said, you know, just do you. If that's what you do, just do it. I mean, there are worse things you could do. That's true. But the nitrates aren't that good. I mean, I guess if I cut out the hot dog, but it's kind of hard to beat the $1.50 hot dog. I mean, even if I just got a pizza. All right, how much is pizza at Costco? $1.99 a slice, and those slices are basically like 2 slices, right? They cut them so big. $1.99 a slice, then if you get a drink, it's 69 cents. So 69 cents versus $1.50 for a hot dog and a drink. So under $1, I'd have a hot dog. It's kind of hard to beat it. So that's why I do it. But the thing is, I don't have breakfast when I do it. And if I do have breakfast and then I go for lunch to do it, then I'll have a really small amount of dinner. So that's how I've been maintaining the 35-pound loss, but I just haven't lost any additional. You know, I said, oh, could we lose another 25? No, I don't think so. I don't think I will ever get there. Of course, I never thought I'd be able to drop back down to this level again. So where's my weight at now? 232 pounds. So we went from, when we started this whole diabetes thing, we went from 268 down to 232 pounds. But my all-time high was 289. Did I tell you guys that? I think I did at one time, in case you didn't know. That was my all-time high. I was like 289 when I was teaching photography. And I look at those photos, you know, the photo that one of my students sent me of myself. I go, wow, man, was I big. Yeah, you don't recognize it until somebody shows it to you, right? Yeah, getting a lot of head nods and everything from people riding bikes. So yeah, it was pretty noticeable, pretty bad. So figure I went from 289, I dropped down to around the 232 level. That was my biggest weight loss. So back down now to 232. So I'm back to where I was when I did those losses. So at least it wasn't a total waste. You know what happened? I dropped all this weight, and then we went on a cruise. It was my first Alaskan cruise. It was my first cruise altogether. We went to Alaska, and I remember the guy on the bus that was bringing us from the airport to the cruise terminal. He says, "Get ready to gain some weight." I didn't understand what he was talking about. And then, of course, when you're on the cruise ship, then you know what he's talking about. The food is just readily available. Go as often as you want, eat as much as you want, go to the buffets, go to the specialty dining places, whatever you want to do, there's food all over the place. I mean, what else can you do? You either go to the entertainment things or you go to the buffet. And yeah, I gained back 10 pounds after that cruise. And I think from that point on, that's when it started coming back up. Now, I didn't gain all my weight back, but figure I went from like 232 up to around the 269, 270 something pound range. So really, if you think about it, I had lost all that weight only to gain most of it back. Not all, but most of it back. And then just before the knee replacement, I dropped myself back down to 250. You have to have decent numbers before they even will consider doing something like a knee replacement for you. They want to make sure, you know, I think it's really more so because once they give you the anesthesia and the anesthetics, right, you if your numbers aren't good, you may not recover from being put under. So they want to make sure everything is good. So I had dropped the weight down to 250. I think even down to 245 actually. It hovered between 245 and 250. And then I went in for the knee replacement. So after the knee replacement, I lost some more weight again because you don't feel like eating. I mean, you're hurting. Food is the last thing on your mind, really. So I think I went from 250 down to 240, maybe 237, something like that. Then I gained it back, of course. So you figure from 237, we ended up back at 268. See, I was yo-yoing back and forth, and this is what my dietitian was telling me. She says, you're going up and down is not good for you. First off, you think you're doing well, but you're killing yourself going up and down. So we went, you know, because of the diabetes, from 268, now we're back down to 232. The thing is, because of the diabetes now, I know I can't eat the sugary stuff. I know I have to limit my carbs. It's basically now a life-changing thing. It's something that you cannot go back to. So I'm hoping I will stay at least at this range going forward, and never go back up again. And if anything, hopefully go further down, but hopefully never higher up again. I do weigh myself every single day, and I do check my blood sugars. I do check my my blood pressure. Oh, here's an interesting thing. There's always something to tell you. I got an email from one of our subscribers who told me, he says, you know, I've noticed that all of the YouTubers that I watch, he's talking about bicycling YouTubers, all of the guys that he seems to watch seems to have some type of medical issue going on. And then he named some of the people, and you know, I watch these guys as well, and I'm thinking back and I'm going, yeah, actually that's true. I won't name the people's names because you know, due to HIPAA laws and the like, but yeah, it seems like many of us have some type of medical issue going on, you know, whether it's a surgery coming up or getting over certain type of medical problems. I mean, for myself, I'm dealing with slightly elevated high blood pressure. It's not really that bad, but it's high. And then I'm also dealing with the diabetes, right? Well, luckily for me, I seem to have gotten both things under control, or at least within reason. I wouldn't say it's not perfect, but it's within reason again. But the other guys have issues too. But you know, I just said to him, I says, you know, I think it's just that we're all getting older, and as you're getting older, you're going to have some type of medical issues come up every now and then, right? So yeah, it's kind of sad, but I mean, some of these guys are in my age group, and so it doesn't surprise me in that sense. I mean, it's sad that we have it, but it doesn't surprise me. Which goes to tell you that you gotta really pay attention to your health, especially now that you're in the upper ranges, right? Now, I know that not all you guys are in my age range. There's a number of Russ is Right viewers who are a lot younger than I am, and who are a lot more fit than I am. You guys, okay, let me tell you, let me address it to you guys. Okay, you're not quite there yet, but don't get there is what I'm saying. Do your best to not get there. I would say if I knew what I know now, it's always the case, right? People always say that. If I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have done what I did then. Yeah, I wouldn't have eaten so many sugary things, so many carb stuff. I would have been more careful of choices of eating and the like, because then I could have avoided being type 2 diabetic, right? People say, well, you can reverse type 2 diabetes. Oh yeah, well, who wants to get there in the first place? Nobody wants to get there in the first place, no matter what, right? So yeah, if you're a younger guy and you're watching Russ is Right, yeah, just be conscious of what you're eating. Everything has sugar in it. I mean, I've cut back so much stuff. I've cut back so much stuff that I don't eat anymore. I mean, it's kind of a pity, but you could do it every now and then, a little bit, but you know, don't go excessive. I was just way too excessive. I mean, to get myself down, you know, I cut out everything. I mean, I was almost just eating salads only, and I don't eat that much salad now. Yeah, and I'm still keeping the weight off, and I'm still keeping my blood sugars down. What's my blood sugars recently? I haven't told you guys in a while. It seems like in the morning when I get up, it usually hovers around 100 to 105, 107, in those ranges. That's actually pretty decent. I mean, normal is considered, I think, 70 to 99. So just being at about 100, 102, 103, you know, whatever, in the morning, that's not that bad. It goes up a little bit during the day, of course, everybody's does. And then it'll go back down again. So, oh, where are we now? Oh, okay, I know where we are. Yeah, I didn't want to do this either. Uh-oh. Well, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and go on the bike path. We'll go here and go on the bike path. Morning. So, yeah, the numbers are pretty good. Blood pressure, how's the blood pressure? You know, here's the thing with the blood pressure. I guess I should buy myself a decent blood pressure cuff. I have not done that. I still have that old one it's not old, it's still relatively new. I started using it when I got diagnosed, but we all know that one seems to have some issue. It doesn't seem to be accurate. So we go based on that one, all right? We're around the 135 to 140 range over 78 to 82, something like that, okay? Now if you go by the watches, let's turn right this time. If you go by the watches, I'm in the 120 over the AG ranges, 120 over 76, 78. If you go by the doctor, I believe I was like 124 over 78, something like that, maybe 77, 78. So in that sense, I guess the watches might be more correct, even though it might not really be correct. But that other thing is way off. I don't think that blood pressure cuff is right at all. Because sometimes that blood pressure cuff will measure 120 over 80 ranges. And then the other times it'll measure 143 over something. I can't be jumping that much. I mean, within the day. It can't be happening like that within the same day. I can't believe it. Well, let's just put it this way. I feel okay. I'm not in desperate mode at this point. So I'm doing okay. Alrighty, so how's the Stellar Falcon doing here? Yeah, we're at 66% of the battery, having ridden this far already. Now, let me say this too. You know, people have mentioned that the Stellar Falcon seems to be a little bit noisier of a bike. Yeah, the motor is louder than some other bikes. I will tell you that they know it, we know it, everybody knows it. However, they have said that the motor noise will diminish if you use it more. I will say that's a true statement. Yeah, because when I first took this bike before, it was a lot louder. I mean, it's still loud. I mean, you can still hear that, right? The humming of the motor. I've gotten used to it. It's no real big deal, but it is noisier than some other bikes. But the more you use it, it does seem to be less. Maybe the gears wear in a little bit. I don't know what it is. It's probably the case. But yeah, somebody asked me about that. They said, have you noticed that is what they said it is? Yeah, it is. Still noisier than I like, but it is better than it was. You know, better to be better than it was than to leave it as it was. So yeah, you just get used to it. It's okay. And other people don't like it so much. I know Mrs. Wright doesn't like the whining of the motor. She prefers a quieter ride. I think she's just used to it. But you know, I've had other bikes that are pretty noisy too. I mean, worse than this. Okay, I'm gonna full blast this thing. This is full blast. So at full blast, you can hear it whine, right? So yeah, she doesn't like hearing it whining either. It's okay. Everybody has their own thing, but as far as a performing of the bike performs really well. It's a really nice torque sensor. The feel is really good on it. There is no ghost pedaling on this bike. I've not once had this thing ghost pedal. And you could adjust your gears, whatever, up or down. But there's no ghost pedaling. And I was pedaling hard, and the ratio is good on this one. Yeah. Can't remember what the gear ratio was. 11 by, what is it, 34? I don't know what it is. 11 by something in the back there. Then I think the front is something like 50, something like that. I have to check my own review to remember what I said. The thing is, I can't remember anything anyways, as you know. I don't know the specific of these numbers. But yeah, it doesn't ghost pedal. That in itself is worth it, I think, for many people. So, alrighty, I think we had it enough for today. What do you think? Gear down a little bit here. And enough for today. So anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We have e-bike videos coming out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Sometimes an occasional bonus video, as you guys might have noticed. Sometimes I've thrown in one on Friday or something. Mondays is an anything goes video. We talk about whatever I feel like. That's where we've been bringing in other products that have nothing to do with e-bikes. But those products have still been kind of related to health so far. It won't always be the case that way, but I tend to gravitate towards those types of products. You know, like the smartwatches and the smart rings and things like that, right? So yeah, watch on Mondays for those. And sometimes, you know, if there's no product to review for that, then we just talk about whatever. So sometimes it is an e-bike video even on a Monday. So, but anyway, keep watching. You'll find things that you'll like to watch. Talk to you guys next time.